DoorDash and entrepreneurship. But I'm like, yo, no. Like, no. I screamed out like it was something off of a movie. I thought about my podcast, even though currently it's not where it's at, but it is growing. It's a growing business and things do take time. Being able to be a full content creator, I would say that is my goal. With entrepreneurship and like with hand in hand with DoorDash, that there's going to be some left turn, things that don't go your way, and I just have to maneuver and pivot and keep going and not let one small thing just like stop me. Be that mini entrepreneur on the dash. Welcome back to another episode of I'm Just Sharing with Shaunda. I'm Shaunda. Hey, I hope you're doing great on this Thursday. I'm doing good, just pushing through as we should. This is a podcast where sharing is caring, and I don't mind sharing anything with you guys. I want to say in this podcast episode, I wanted to talk about DoorDash and entrepreneurship. It's been pretty interesting, this story, okay? I recently signed up for DoorDash on my birthday, December 9th, and it was a pretty cool experience. Since then, I've been getting out and DoorDashing. I always thought like the reason why I didn't sign up for DoorDash before was just like, I'm going to run into people that I don't want to run into. But that's highly unlikely, depending on area, where I'm at, the zones that I'm in, very not likely that that's going to happen. I had to step over that hump, okay? But, I'm here and it's been great. But I do have a DoorDash story that I have to share. I wanted to talk about the pros and cons with DoorDash, but this story definitely kicks off the whole thing. So I recently had a DoorDash order where this woman named Kay wanted to get Chipotle, all right? And I made my way to Chipotle. With making my way to Chipotle, I said, is there an order in for K? I'm picking up for KL. It was like, yeah, we don't have that order. And I'm like, oh, okay. I go on the message on DoorDash and just text her like, hey, they said that your order is not in. She's like, the first DoorDasher took her food and that another order is in once, DoorDash refunded her. And I'm like, oh, okay. And it's crazy because with her, she even screenshotted me through the messenger that DoorDash refunded her order, that the order was placed. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I go back to them and I'm like, she said that the order was in there. You just got to make it. And I said, this is the order. And I said, this is the new order. This is what it is. And they were like, yeah, no, we don't have that in our system. And I'm like, so y'all just can't remake it? Because obviously there's an order here. We're not lying here. There's an order here. Just remake it. And he said, yeah, I wish it worked like that, but the order has to be in. It has to pop up in our system and we can make it. I'm like, okay, cool. I have nothing but time on my hands. There is with DoorDash, there is time. I definitely understand that there's a time where they want you to drop off the food and pick up the food. But at this point, for me, I had nothing but time in the world. Also, as I said before in previous episodes, that my love language is acts of service. I didn't mind being out. I didn't mind how long it was taking. I had nothing but time. I was enjoying the environment, the atmosphere. I'm enjoying life, even though I'm waiting for food that's not mine. It's okay. This is just what is expected. So as I'm waiting, I'm just texting her, I'm just going back and forth with the manager or the person or lead that was on the floor that I'm just saying this order is here. It is. This is the process that she did. This is where, she refunded it. The order should be in there. And it was like, yeah, no, it's just not here. I was in there for about 20 to 30 minutes just waiting, and communicating with her about this because I said, I don't mind waiting. I just want for you to get your food. Because I went above and beyond, she noticed that. She said, I really appreciate your effort and your time. I would like to, compensate you with your Cash App. She said, this is the thing. I'm like, oh, shit. Great. Yay. As I'm texting her, I get a text that said that the order was canceled. And I guess once you cancel the order, it stops any text messages from being sent between me and her. So I couldn't send. I was right on my SDP and my Cash App little, thing. And I'm like, no. I screamed out like it was something off of a movie. I screamed like, oh gosh. And I retried it and it just didn't go through. I'm like, fuck, no. I move on, then I get another text message. Actually, I got a call, customer services and DoorDash, or they wanted to verify like what happened, and I just explained it to them. They're like, oh, okay, thanks. Then I get another text message saying that I didn't get compensated for that order because I wasn't on it for a certain amount of time. I'm like, fucking liars. Like, I was like, no way. I text myself, they say, you get the address? I'm like, no, I ain't gonna pull up on them. And I didn't get the address. It didn't show that just then because I have to confirm that I had the food and I didn't have the food. So like, it just sucked. But I'm like, yo, no. I can't believe that happened. It was just something off of a movie. So I wanted to get into the pros about being a DoorDasher, being an entrepreneur, and just the unexpected stuff that just happens. But DoorDash wise, I really do like the extra money with the way how things are going. Sometimes with not having anything, I connected DoorDash to my savings, and anything that I get just goes into my savings. I don't touch as much, but I like having that petty cash that I can use for, lunch, anything around the house. I have it, gas. It's great. Yeah, that's just great about it. I think the other thing, what I like, another pro, is that like you have a set schedule, knowing that you can choose the time that you want to be out for DoorDash is really cool. With me currently, I still have my 9 to 5. So after I get off work, sometimes I just go straight into DoorDash or just come home, chill for a little bit and then head out again. But also with me leaving out and being in my car, I would say another pro about it is I get to catch up on podcasts that I haven't listened to yet. Listening and vibing out to music has been really cool, or just having a quiet time in my car and just in my thoughts about what needs to be done or whatever is just going on in my head. I really, really like that time to myself. The other pro is seeing houses or just apartments. Also seeing places that I just didn't know full places were in. Like there's some places I'm like, I didn't even know that this was here. Oh my gosh. And oh my gosh, it's just really cool seeing that, but also seeing the houses. I love looking at big little mini mansion houses. I'm like, wild. And then, it's Christmas time, everybody's in the spirit. I get to see the lights. So being out, it's just really nice being out in the car and having that time to drop off food, but just also have this personal time to myself. I find those to be the biggest pros on my list for being a DoorDasher, right? I'm gonna get into the cons now. Sorry if that's very short with the pros. I don't really have a lot to break down to because they're really good. That's just my pros in that. The cons, okay. The cons. Gas, of course. It's very interesting with the petty cash that I do have, and knowing that I am taking out of my, savings to put gas in my car to either fill up or go half, and then work my way to a certain point where I'm like, all right, now this is where I'm going to stop. The gas does go quick, and I want to say that's the con about DoorDash is choosing the places that seem closer on the way to home or not too far off. It just really does have to make sense with where you're in, what zone you're in, and where you're going. But either or, sometimes with taking that extra step, you get that tip. And this is also in it. I'm going to get into that a little bit later. Because what goes hand in hand with gas is mileage. I had to get over the fact, and I think this was one reason why I didn't sign up for DoorDash a while ago, and this was part of my no, I'm never going to do DoorDash type of thing, was the mileage that I was putting on my car. And I really had to get over that hump because these are what cars are made for. They're made to put miles on. They're made for you to drive and to go places. You can't control that. So do it. I'm not going to be treated in my car in another year or so, but the fact that that's just a factor that, dealerships or whatever, they look at that was just the thing that really got me into I don't really want to do it. But there is some times where I'm just looking at my mileage, I'm like, fuck. And I just feel like that's just more speed to get my car looked at and maintenance and making sure everything is up in my car so I can keep driving. So that's just my one like Debbie Downer about looking at my mileage on my car. But I really have to get over that because I'm like, I'm making the money that needs to be made for what I need, for now. So that's that. Now I'm getting the tips because the tip thing is really crazy, like the amount that you get. And I definitely understand because I got it where there was one time where I was working at my previous job and one person, my employee at the time, put in an order for himself and we were just taking it. He was in the back and we were just in the front on the sales floor and we were just taking it and she thought it was one of ours and she got irritated. She was just like you have this certain amount of money that you're putting towards, your food, you could have tipped. And I mean, this is what you're signing up for to not get tipped or not. Like, that's just the thing. I understand it from my understanding is that some people really just only have the money to order what they need, right, to eat. So I'm not going to be thinking about anybody's pockets. I'm grateful for whatever comes my way, tip or not. I'm grateful for the time that I'm putting out. I'm grateful for being able to deliver food because there's a lot of people who just without a car can't make this extra money. So I'm not thinking about what is going to come and if a tip is guaranteed or not. There is a small portion of it that I want to say that I feel like what could change. Change is putting change in it. I just feel like it's so crazy where people ask for raises in certain jobs and they only get like, oh, they bumped me up $1.50 or they only gave me 25 cents extra. I have to look to pro. It's shitty, but I'm like, that change does add up. So for me and with people who do tip, add the change to it. Look at your extra bank account because in small littles, I've depending on what bank you bank with my bank, they show the big amount, like what you have in there, and then the small amount of change that you do have, and it seems like you have to squint your eyes to see it. But like, add that change in there. It's like, just add it because it really does add up. So I feel like it's a con and a pro with tips, but I definitely think that it's definitely necessary. Another con for me, because I'm a struggling person, the aroma in the food that just heightens, especially the wings. Oh my gosh. With what people order, I'll be like, what is it? But I know what it is. It shows me a breakdown of what this person getting, but the wings and the smell, oh my gosh, in the car, I'm like, that's just the most con, especially when you're hungry. Make sure you eat before getting out on the road, but like still, the aroma that fills up my car is like, so good. And that's a super con because I'm like, I see why there are some DoorDashers who just like, I don't have any food and just so easily to take somebody's food. Now, I know you're going to get a negative. I never did it, all right? I don't recommend anybody to take anybody else's food. Don't do it. But I understand when people like, this food is too good. Let me take a fry and open your bag or whatever. Never happened to me. I never did it, but I'm just saying it's understandable. That's all I'm saying. I'm not going to get into it. But that's just another con of picking up food, okay? The other last thing that I feel like there's a con is that night drives, it's getting dark early. And I think with me now understanding that I'm a female and I'm on the road, is very scary. The car that I have, I can't just get out the car and lock it and be okay with this car that I have, my Kia, that it gives you a notice that you have your key with you when you leave the car and it doesn't lock if you want to keep it on. Like in order to lock your car and have it on, I have to turn off my car, leave it, and do the automatic turn on for my car to be locked and turned on at the same time. And that's just a lot on the key. Like I really wish I could just like close it, lock it. I'm cool, but I can't do that. So that's just a lot. But with nighttime, I also have to message the person to let them know that if it's a house, have your light on. Like that's just better because also it's crazy, the house numbers and not being able to see at night. Like, it's just, you should have your light on so it's easier for me to see when I'm driving and pulling up. Okay. That's just my whole thing with driving at night. That's just the con of it, that I have to stop at a certain time. I mean, it's already dark at that point, but I really do have to be more aware of my surroundings, and hopefully that somebody does turn on their light so I can see to drop off your food. So yeah, with this whole thing and me talking about DoorDashing and knowing that when you sign up for DoorDash, you are an entrepreneur, that you are making your own money. And it just made me think about going back to the pro of like having a schedule and having something added to my schedule has been really nice. I journaled before that I said that I would like to make more money in this way. I thought about my podcast, even though currently it's not where it's at, but it is growing. It's a growing business and things do take time. And I've been very happy with where I'm at now and seeing the growth that I am. I really love the interaction. I really love that I'm putting the time in to record, edit, because I am a one person and just doing this on myself with doing my own thumbnails now, finding the description, trying to reach out to people. I'm trying to get better at that. But like everything all just works in this business that is growing, and I'm really loving it. It's not lucrative right now, and I'm not looking for what's that word? Expenses right now, okay? But I am looking for this to grow and being able to be a full content creator. I would say that is my goal. I would love to have that type of freedom. But seeing how growing this does take time, and being my own boss in a way has been really nice. So with DoorDashing and knowing that I'm working my way to being able to afford more things for my podcast and / for myself, I'm really glad with my podcast and DoorDash, mostly DoorDash right now, that I had that extra that I can have for myself to sustain my small, business. I'm not going to call it small. To me, again, it's big, it's growing. Yeah, I just feel like with entrepreneurship and like with hand in hand with DoorDash, that there's going to be some left turns, things that don't go your way, and I just have to maneuver and pivot and keep going and not let one small thing just like stop me. I have to keep going. So I definitely feel like I'm becoming more aligned with myself because of what I've been asking for. I said I wanted more things to look forward to, having extra money. So it's just really interesting that in this way, DoorDash has got me having the extra that I need. My podcast is definitely putting me on a more of a schedule and a routine of something to look forward to and having a goal to work towards. So I'm really happy with this, and all goes hand in hand with each other. I'm really proud. I'm really proud of myself. And I would say, like with entrepreneurship, with anybody who is doing it, I'm glad that with this small thing, DoorDash, I'm going to say, has helped me just get in this right mindset and with being on the routine and the schedule. I would say try. If it's not DoorDash, then there is always something to try to make money off of. I don't know how to like get into that, but if anybody is selling things, making things and selling things, you're an entrepreneur, and I just hope that you just keep going. And that's just all I'm hearing from podcasts, the ones that I listen to, YouTube videos with women, men, Black women who just say that it's gonna suck, but the pushing and keeping going and having a community of people to support you is really helpful. So be that mini entrepreneur on the dash. It's great. Speaking of dashing, I gotta go. So thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of I'm Just Sharing with Shaunda. Please remember to rate, like, comment, and subscribe on my Apple, Spotify, and my YouTube page. You can DM or comment on my social media. If you'd like to share your experience with me, you can email me at imjustsharingpod@gmail.com. I look forward to hearing you guys, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Take care. Bye.